July 3rd, 2021, 3:11 p.m. I just got off of work and I'm over here at this park where they release eels after they've grown them from the eel hatchery with the Yakama Nation's Fisheries Department. Sue's wandering around on the grass in the shade, and I believe we're almost done with where we're working at. So tomorrow's the 4th, and right now it's overtime, $24.75 an hour. I don't know how this company works, if they pay holiday pay. If they did, be more than $24.75 an hour. And it's gonna be okay. So I know a lot of people are mad at me, upset with me, don't have anything nice to say about me or my brother Richard. And it's worse when they disrespect my mom. And I've been told, don't make somebody else's issue your problem or your issue. But that's my mom. And same way with my brother. I don't like people telling lies about my family and me. I don't know why that happens, but I asked my auntie, who has multiple years of sobriety, clean and sober. She was a ward warrior at one time, and there was a time everybody thought she'd never sober up and she'd die using. But she's sober now, doing good for her people. I asked her, why do people accuse me of such things? And she said, because they've done it already. And I started laughing. Made me feel better, because a lot of times when people are defensive, it's because they're guilty of something. And they're protecting themselves from whatever it is that they've done. And because I've seen things and I call them on it, and even told my mom about it, and even talked to the mother and talked to the daughter and my other nephew, showed pictures of our family who are Atwai, and explaining how we're closely related. So being closely related and being tight as a family is something we don't have. I practically call it the Great Divide. And I don't know why. Well, it's just changed so much. So much. And so I don't know. The grandmothers always kept us together and close. And I know what it is. We used to all camp while we go woot digging. We used to all camp while we were going huckleberry picking. We used to always camp while we were eeling and salmon fishing. And we always camped. Even picking in the fields with the woot, not the woots, but cherries and apples and other places on other farms, and I remember sleeping on hay in the barn. And that's why we were tight, because all my mom's sisters and all her kids would be there at the camp with grandma while we were digging roots and picking huckleberries and salmon fishing or eeling. But now it's maybe a few of us that actually go out to the huckleberry fields and go root digging and actually camp and take care of the roots and berries and salmon and eels and the yamash and tules to make tule mats, rose bushes for rose water, and rose hips for tea, and willows for sweat lodges, and red willow for tea, and rose for bows for the cradle board, and hemp to make string. There's this other thing too that we gather, but I'm still learning about that. We make needles with for sewing tule mats, and that's all I can think of right now. Oh, cedar bark for cedar bark baskets. So a lot of these things I'm talking about, I'll eventually show on video for my 4 children and my grandchildren, so they can learn about their way. And for me, even though they're not by my side, but eventually those videos will come out where I'm scraping hides from the beginning to the end, where it's made for clothes or for drum, and all that. Just, I don't know everything. I don't know a whole lot. I'm just naming off things that I know, which is very not a lot compared to other people who knows a lot more. These are just the things that I'm learning and trying to do better and be better at in all the things I've mentioned, because I find it valuable to keep on carrying the ways that was passed on from generation to generation. So right now we're just dealing with talking ahead, because I'm just learning how to use YouTube. Eventually I'll get entertaining, where I'll put on my jingle dress and my fancy shawl outfit and my shawl dress, and at powwows or wherever, and even, yeah, you'll see like how to cut eels. But I'm not a filleter for salmon. I'm still learning that, but I'm learning. It's fun. All of it's fun. Everybody think of it as work, and it's not work. It's a love that I have for it, because it's healthy for you to eat, and it's healthy for you as a healthy activity to be constantly moving while you're gathering all these foods that we put on a table for a feast. I don't know them all. I'm still learning them, and it's fun doing so. So I just know that I'm not perfect, and I have my flaws. And I know that when I say things, it sounds like I'm being judgmental. And I have relatives that are Chiapo, Chimacali, and Mexican. So I'm not racial. I'm not prejudiced. Mm, my kids have Chiapo in them, Irish. So not all of us are full-blooded. We're all Heinz 57. I don't know why people hug me and then throw my name in the dirt on social media. Uh, so it's it's kind of like being two-faced, because to my face you're all nice and smiling in my face and giving me a hug and like everything's okay between us. And then as soon as we're not in each other's face, you're posting shit up on Facebook about me, talking shit about me. And then when we see each other face to face, you're not going to say anything to me. And vice versa. So it works both ways. And yeah, just a lot of angry people. And I wasn't the first one to post something about it. Someone else mentioned it before me. Nobody even liked her comment or even commented on her status about the same thing I posted. We're suppas. We're all suppas. She was a suppa too. She was my auntie. That was her sister's son. So that was her first cousin. So she feels it more than I do. But I feel it because I'm a suppa. So yeah, people are always going to say something, and it's up to you if you want to react to it and blow up on social media. A lot of times people just react because they think I'm this way, or they think they know me, and then they get mad at me trying to tell me to delete my status, or they turn my status into Facebook that it's too offensive or something, and then Facebook will remove my status. That's the kind of family I have on Facebook. They get easily offended and turn me in on Facebook, and my status will get removed. And a lot of times I think if you can't handle social media, get off of it. If you're easily offended by what somebody posts and you get pissed off and you want the whole world to know, yeah, that's why I just got off of Facebook, because that's all I seen people doing was crying for attention. And here I just got on there so I can keep in touch with my family and let them know where I'm at, what I'm doing, so I don't have to call them because I have their phone numbers. So now, yeah, I have people's phone numbers, and they're the ones I talk to because they're the ones I trust. So it's a very small handful. Very, very small. Like 1, 2, 3. Like 3 people. 4. Just 4 people I call right now. Just 4 people that I call and talk to, or have face-to-face conversations. Deep conversations where we're crying and laughing. And I like to stay positive. I want to stay positive, and I notice that all my videos are nothing but bitching and complaining. So I need to practice more on being thumper. We got nothing nice to say at all, then don't say nothing at all, or something like that. So, yep, it's hard to speak the truth, to say good things all the time, to look good, to look for good in people, to to actually choose to let what people say about you affect you, or how they treat you when we meet up. That's pretty much why I just quit going to funerals, because we don't even act like family. We're just looking at each other. We're like magnets, positive and negatives, just like dancing around each other like this in the longhouse, avoiding each other like that. Just dreading that moment when we have to shake hands, and when that time comes, because everybody's there and watching, and you don't get along with that person. That's family. And when you go shake their hand, you're like, just do it because that's tradition. What we've grown up to do at the longhouse. So I'll apologize now. For being complicated. This is my world, so I'm a drama queen in my own world. And I'm trying to keep it to myself. But this is for you guys, because you guys don't know me. Richard, my brother, and my 4 kids, and my grandkids. I want them to know me, my thoughts, how I feel. So at least they'll be able to hear my voice and see me. Like, oh, Grandma was over here. I wonder what she was doing then. Oh, she was working at Ace's Hardware Store in Prosser then, with One Around Sue, camping by the river. So then you guys get to go to Prosser one of these days and check it out and see where I've been. And oh, this is the park she would let Sue run around at, where they release the eels and then actually attend the eel releasing. There's more to say. Anam, yana, we yani kuksla lakskai skiya workshakshnai. You are here now, stay active, the light within shines outwardly. Another day, another dollar. And so, just gonna pass time with beading right now. I don't know if you've seen that, but I'm working on peyote stitch right now for a medallion that I've already finished for fishermen of the Yakama Nation. So, talk to you guys all later. Love y'all.